I, okay, so again, my name is Joseph Skarda. I am the Vice Dean for International Affairs for the Medical Faculty of Ostrava University. As you know, Faculty of Medicine, University of Ostrava is the youngest faculty in Czech Republic, but we are very innovative because we are the only one in Ostrava who have the Department of Artificial Intelligence in medicine. We also have a very big focus on a virtual hospital. And as you will see, we have the most comprehensive simulation center in Europe, in which we teach our parallel students. And so Czech Republic Ostrava is located near Polish border, very close to Slovakia, very close to Poland, very close to Vienna, very close to Budapest as well. And as you can see, it has a very good position in Central Europe. It has its own airport where you can access Ostrava as well. So Ostrava was this Faculty of Medicine was established in 1993. And we have a English program in general medicine. It's a master study program for 6 years. It's a full master degree, fully recognized by European Union. What does that mean for you? It means that when you get a diploma, you can practice and specialize in Europe, and you can fully practice in any European country without any limits, with European salary as well, which is a great, great advantage. You can stay here, you can practice here, and you can also stay in Czech Republic, where the salaries in Czech Republic are very, very good for the medical doctors. And I'm not encouraging you not to come back to your home country. I'm encouraging you to do the specialization after graduation in Czech Republic or in Europe, because that gives you a much better position for your options, which is of course possible. Tuition fee is 12,000 euro, and we have scholarship for excellent students. What does that mean, scholarship for excellent students? Scholarship for excellent students means that if a student in a given year of medical studies receives straight A's, next year we reimburse him 6,000 euros. So he studies for 6,000 euros. We do have first 3 years theoretically mostly, but we do start from the first year already on a simulation center where we simulate intensive cases, and the student has to communicate in the team and be a part of the team. Because what is the basics in medicine is the communication and being part of the team. And that we will teach you from the first year. Apart from that, you are taking biochemistry, biology, physics, anatomy, then pathophysiology, pathology, histology, and psychology. And of course, afterwards, you take surgery, internal medicine. In the third, fourth, fifth year, students undertake internships at clinics and departments at university hospitals. Actually, you are practicing not only at university hospital, but you are practicing 3 hospitals, 1 private, 1 town hospital, and 1 university. Why is that? Because we need you to experience all the medical practice in all the types of hospital. This is very important for us, since you get a hint of how systems are organized, because in your country as well, the systems are organized differently in private hospitals, in municipal hospitals, and university hospitals. Of course, we study clinical teaching in blocks. What does that mean? It means that when someone takes neurology, he will devote his time to neurology all 3 to 4 weeks, and it will be an on-patient experience. So you will be tested continually on your performance on the patients. Additionally, you will perform OSCA exams where before the committee, 3 times per your studies in the 3rd year, 5th year, and 6th year, or 4th year, you'll have to perform admitting the patient, communicating with the patient, examining the patient, taking the analysis, suggesting the diagnosis and therapy, taking blood from the patient. And also you will be trained this on actors, which we have. And we also have virtual hospital apart from simulation center. So simulation medicine complements clinical medicine. So when you learn ophthalmology, you start to learn it at simulation center and then complement it by it, you learn it in the hospital patient bed. In the simulation center, you learn how to deal with critical situations and on-patient situations. And then as you train yourself and you rehearse the algorithm, then you of course are trained on patient beds. The student to tutor ratio 1 to 1. Switch off the microphone, please, so that I can continue. Otherwise, I will not continue.
Yes, you're muted. Thank you. Sorry about that.
And basically, what we do is one tutor to one student ratio, which is great because a doctor is devoting his time to the students. This is the reason we take only 50 students per year for English program, because we want to facilitate a one-to-one clinical teaching. Yes, we believe you pay money for clinical teaching. So application fee 2,000 euros. We do application fees 2,000 euros because you are doing entrance examination online. The application on the website, and you can already apply. The recruitment is from 15th of February, so it was started Friday, I guess, and so you can apply. Then what the deadlines are on the website. We have exams in January, February, March, April, May, June for long distance students. So I suggest you apply to June because of the visa issues. You know, we have Myanmar is a location which is absolutely okay for us from health point of view, but you need to get the visa early so that you can start early. So you can apply now. Biology exam is written test, biology 25 minutes, minimum 10 points, chemistry 35 minutes, minimum 10 points, physics 40 minutes, minimum 10 points, no multiple answers, no negative marking. And within 14 days of the exam, you are getting a result, whether you passed or not. This is just one of the exam examples. If you didn't major in physics or chemistry or biology, doesn't matter, because you can make it up. We have some teams on the website which you can study. And so the exam is fair. And after the successful completion of examination, we will ask you to prove to again verify that you want to study with us. As soon as you want to study with us, then you will send us the notification document, the documents for notification, and the health certificate and criminal record. That's all you need. So you are learning in Simulation Center, which is the second in the Czech Republic and the newest one. The first multidisciplinary simulation center in Central Europe, where you can do all disciplines, even from ophthalmology, neurosurgery. You see here students operating on phantoms, really fully operating on phantoms. So if someone wants to become a surgeon, he can test himself. If he does want to become a surgeon, of course, he cannot operate on the real stuff, but he can operate on the phantom. Of course, these are the simulators that the secondary degree specialization is fully made. So after you specialize in Czech Republic, you are doing more sophisticated comprehensive simulation courses as well from your specialization. It's a tremendous advantage because actually you can choose your specialization during simulation medicine. That's very nice. You can choose a specialization with on-patient work, but you can also choose a specialization with simulation medicine, which is great. These are the new buildings. This is anatomy. We work on real bodies. These are just plastic models out of courtesy. We cannot photograph a real body here. It wouldn't be fair and it would be right. So this is biochemistry labs. This is our new, areas. So why to study at our medical faculty? So 3 hospitals in Ostrava, 1,100 beds each, 47,000 patients per year. Municipal hospital and private hospital plus a faculty hospital. Practical training, currently only 120 Czech students per year and 50 students in English. You have scholarships for excellent students, as I told you. And you have also a scholarship fully financed throughout European Union. If somebody wants to, during his studies, to visit France, to visit any European country and have an experience to study in English at that place during his holiday and get a recommendation letter that is very important for the job and get a contact that is very important for the PhD, we will finance his stay 100%, which is great. Yes, it's amazing that you can go out, you can travel, because once you start to do your specialization, you will have limited amount of time to travel. But once you do start traveling with Erasmus program, fully funded by us, by European Union, you can get an experience and contact that will be tremendously important for your associate professorship, and further career. This doesn't repeat itself. Even if you want to go to the United States, you can also go there. We finance 2/3 of your, well, not 2/3, 90% of your expenses, which is also a good option because you will never get a chance otherwise to travel out abroad. Okay, so this is it. What about charity? We do humanitarian help. This is our dean, Associate Professor Magyar. These are our students who are helping to build hospitals. We build hospitals in all these countries, Tanzania, Kenya, Philippines, Ethiopia, Sumatra, Georgia, under the coverage of Doctors Without Borders. So if you would be interested in this charity work, you can also do that. But again, this is already it's already a charity, you know. So also this type of experience is possible. We are now working with Madagascar. We are working with Malawi. We are working with other African countries. So to do basically for them equipment, surgery, bioinformatics teaching and stuff like that. So we are also working now with the Tuliara region very intensively in Madagascar. Living in Ostrava, you can either rent a dormitory or you can rent an apartment and share it. I recommend the second option, that you take three students of you, rent an apartment and share it, share the expenses. Overall expenses together is 500 euros per month, which might seem a lot or not, depends, but it's no less than 500 euros per month. If you want to eat out in a restaurant in an expensive place, then it's 700 euros per month. But I don't recommend. I recommend to cook for yourself, and not that the food will be bad. The food is excellent, but just to save money as a student. So apartment rental is 250 to 600 euros per month. Basically, if you share it's doubled by 3, so you get 200 euros per person, and you have a whole apartment for 3 of you, which is a great option actually. And it's nearby hospital. Everything is accessible by local transport. It takes 9 minutes from one campus to another campus. So it's we have a very, very strong public transport. So that's a very big advantage. You have pubs, you have festivals, you have all these culture areas. Ostrava used to be a miner town, so they changed these mining areas into high-tech festivals, you know, people going to disco pubs. I don't know how much. I don't have time for that, so I cannot describe what is there, you know. Plus I'm already older, so don't expect me to go to those places. But I go to, you know, I go to nice cafeterias, you know, Strava sometimes when I have time, if I have time. So that's a nice, friendly, a religious-free country. So Christians are okay, Jews are okay, Muslims are okay. You know, we are a democratic country. Nobody will ever persecute you. You know, nobody, absolutely nobody. You know, here is a European country, so that's not a problem. So getting to Ostrava from Prague, 3 hours by Pendolino, Vienna, 3 hours direct train to Ostrava. The airports in Poland, I would recommend Polish, Katowice, Krakow, Warsaw. They are beautiful airports, 2 to 4 hours to Ostrava. Or we have an airport from Ostrava. We have our own airport in Ostrava. This is our sports training center of the University of Ostrava, where you can jog, run, and I don't know, everything. These are our facilities. This is the living estate where you can rent the apartment. This is the historical town. This is the major house, and these are the pubs. And this is the Ostrava. You see, everything's green, very green. So you can hike, you can do whatever you want for relaxation. These are our graduates. And I hope you will be one of them. And I thank you for your attention. So go ahead with your questions.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Skada. We have pre-collected some of the questions from the participants, and we will read out some of the questions first.
Go ahead.
Afterwards, we will let the audience ask out the questions. So the very first thing is, in terms of the entrance exam, and are there any preparation from the University of Ostrava itself? Is there anything that do you have any like reference textbooks that students can learn from?
Basically, any secondary school textbook is sufficient because the information are from basic biology, basic physics, and basic chemistry. So that's number one information. Number two information, we're just now translating preparatory courses to English that will be ready. And as soon as they'll be ready, we'll give them to students. So far, they are not ready. It's presentations for Czech students. And as I said, it's basic chemistry, basic physics, and basic biology. So any secondary school textbook is sufficient.
And one of the questions they have asked is, you have mentioned this about this as well previously about like being able to continue in Czech to practice as a doctor after graduation from University of Ostrava. Can you explain a little bit more about that
Yes.
process?
Yes.
What you
Yes.
need to learn Czech language and or what are the requirements? Just a little bit overview of the process, please, because in other countries like Poland, like students come there to study and then they must leave the country to practice elsewhere.
No.
So that was like really like eye-opening for us that you mentioned about like being able to practice in Czech Republic. So can you explain a little bit for us, please? Thank you.
Okay. There is one information I forgot to tell you, not related to this question, but I need to tell you this. As a student from Myanmar, you can also work part-time during your study medicine to earn money for yourself. That's what I
Yes.
forgot to tell you. But however, I don't recommend it because medicine is very demanding. But if you want, you can do so.
Mhm.
Of course, we don't encourage it. Concerning after graduation, during your studies, during a master's degree, you learn Czech for 3 years. So medical Czech, you learn. However, after graduation, in order to be included into the Czech Medical Society, you will be examined Czech language in Prague. It's an institute of postgraduate education that will examine your Czech language. And after sufficient knowledge of Czech language, they will let you practice. That's the only condition you have to fulfill is the examination from Czech language, which can be mastered. So that's the only condition we have to follow. And since you're working with patients and since you're learning Czech for 3 years, medical Czech for 3 years, you must basically you must then just learn a bit more. Excuse me, I have a knock on the door. I'll just open. I'll be back with you.
Sure, no worries. ဒီမှာရေးထားတာလေးကိုကျွန်တော်တစ်ချက်ဖတ်ရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပေါ့နော် IG O level ပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်လိုအပ်တဲ့လိုအပ်ချက်လေးဆိုတော့ပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်တော့ A level လုပ်ရင်လုပ်ပေါ့နော်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်ဒီ OSSC လုပ်လို့ရပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီသူကတော့အဓိကတော့ Final High School Diploma ဖြစ်ရမယ်ပေါ့နော် Final High School Diploma လိုအပ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မလို့ဒါ A level လုပ်ရင်လုပ် OSSC လုပ်ရင်လုပ်ပြီးသွားလို့ရပါ Okay.
Okay, so any other questions, please?
Yeah, there is a question here on the chat.
Please. Any other questions? Just follow, yes, please.
Yes,
Go ahead.
it is a little bit more like complicated issue, I believe. They have been accepted as a US online college diploma without having like any sort of they also have like high school dual enrollment. That would be like a very highly technical question for you, but they're asking if that would be eligible for them to apply directly
Okay.
to Ostrava University.
We have a system of notification that is judged by the rectorate office. You have to send us the paper as soon as possible so that we can verify if it's notified. If the secondary school is basically recorded in the file of secondary school, and if the secondary school is approved by the Ministry of Myanmar or of America, we will contact the website of the secondary school and we will directly verify if the secondary school is eligible or not. Therefore, I recommend these candidates to send us as soon as possible the apostille from the school when they enroll so that we can verify it, okay? And we'll let them know. But if the school is registered, if the school has a proper website, if it's not a scam, then we can recognize it, okay? But we will look after it, okay? Another question, please go ahead.
Yes, they've asked about they've already achieved a grade 12 from Canadian diploma, and then also they have got they will sit for the entrance test. They have asked about are there any English requirements, like do they need any
No,
English
no English
requirements like
requirements, because we state from the fact that we do not check the English requirements. We suppose that when they are able to pay so much money for the studies, so they don't need the requirements in English.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay.
No interviews
Another
as well. No interviews of motivation. You know why? Because interviews can be subjective. And
that's
anyway, the students, when they will start to study Czech course, they will start to study the Czech course and their motivation will be tested on anatomy.
Yes, of course, of course. Anatomy will test you for everything you need to know about the student. So another question is also a little bit more technical about a general education diploma, GED. Would that be accepted? I would believe your previous answer would be the same.
Yes, same.
they will need to
We will
submit the diploma.
verify it from which institution. We'll verify the institution, check the institution, then we will. Therefore, I recommend to enroll for the students now, because to get them even now or the sooner the late the better, because we want to check the disease as soon as possible, you know.
I see, I see. So one of the students have asked about a little bit more specific query as well. They have not taken a biology module during their high school year.
Yes,
Would that be necessary as a grade to take like another biology module to apply for Ostrava, or is
look,
that not necessary?
biology is important. If he hadn't taken the biology module, then it's important to get some consultations at home country. Not in Ostrava, we don't recommend or we don't require to get a biology module, not at all. All we require is that when he comes, he's prepared, you know. So he doesn't have to take a module, he can take consultations as well. It's basic biology. Any basic biology textbook from the secondary school will be sufficient.
I see. Thank you. So I guess like one of the last questions for now. So you have mentioned about the scholarship program, which is like quite substantial, 6,000 euros, which is like 50% of the whole tuition fees. And you've mentioned about the grades, if they got like all grades A on their first year of the study, they can get it on the second year. But
Yes.
can they renew it if the student is like exceptional, like every year? Would they
Yes, if
get
he's
that?
a straight A student, which
Uh,
he has to be a genius to do it, but there are some. I mean,
of course.
you know why we are doing this? We want to prompt excellence, and then we want to keep the students for ourselves. You know, honest talk. You know, that student will have an open door to all Europe, to
Mm,
Slovakia. Will have an open door to the most excellent research institutions. We'll get a visa and we can do a special. Of course, he can get back to Myanmar, but honestly speaking, the salaries of Czech doctors are very good. So financially, economically, he will be. I'm not buying him now, you know. I'm just advertising. But we want the top students. We do want them, and we do want to prompt excellence. We give them a prompt teaching, and if they would like to stay here, we want them. That's
I
an
see.
honest talk.
That's brilliant. That's a great answer. So here they have asked about like would you be able to share all the slides with us again afterwards so that we can share with our other students and like the ones here are also requesting
Look, the
your presentation.
presentation is very big, and I'm not a
Mhm.
technical personnel. That's the reason why I studied medicine. You know, I don't know how to zip or unzip or whatever, but how to do that? I'll try
Yeah,
to
we
share with you a shortened version of it.
This webinar is recorded anyway, so they should be able to review the slides in
Excellent,
this way.
excellent. Excellent, excellent. That's great. That's great.
I see. The last question, it's asking about whether they can apply with predicted results without having the actual grades yet.
Look, at the time of enrollment, which is 15th of October, the latest. No, beginning of October, the latest, sorry. We have to have the final results from them. So in other words, when they apply now, in October next year, we must have the results. If that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So, but they can apply it like in the they can take the entrance exams with the predicted results and everything, right?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Are there any more questions from the audience about the presentations? Anything else directed towards Dr. Skada? You can ask now. If you want to ask directly to him, like with voice as well, you can unmute your mic and ask him directly now.
Don't worry, don't be afraid. We are friendly enough, so go ahead with the question.
One of the students was asking about tuition fees, so I will probably answer the question. So tuition fees is 12,000 euros for a year for like non-EU students, but there's also like up to 50% scholarship available if the student is excellent during their medical school years. So 12,000 12,000 euros.
And the excellent student is straight A's in a certain year, straight A's.
Yeah, straight A's.
Only A grades. That's what we do. I have a question for you. Is there any government scholarship for your students? If you have an excellent student, can you get this scholarship from the government?
No is the answer for now. So there were times previously there was government scholarships previously, but not now. Probably in the later future.
Because in our country, we have a system that when a student wants to be a medical doctor and he wants to study English, and he's Czech or Slovak, there are few of them.
No,
So
right.
basically, few, not many. The hospital pays him the scholarship on condition that he will work on that hospital. So this is what I was asking, if the hospitals in your country, because that might be an option, because that's a lot of money for you, for some of them. So, but still it's the cheapest scholarship in Czech Republic, cheapest tuition fee in Czech Republic. So we are the cheapest. Honest talk.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, we'll have a look around and see if any like private hospitals that are offering like similar sort of like scholarship. Because
that might be an option for your students. I mean, if they are excellent, the private hospital pays them. And on this condition, of course, they'll do the specialization in Myanmar. That's obvious, but that solves the problem in our country of some specializations, because if somebody would like to study from Myanmar and specialize in pulmonology or interventional radiology, he's ours. He's ours.
Yeah.
We need them.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's ours. So if you have a lack of doctors like this in some places, that might be a very good tactic to tell them to pay them, because we have the best clinical teaching in Czech Republic, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
So,
and can you tell me the specialties again? Interventional radiology, and what's the second one?
Pneumology, pulmonology, lung diseases.
All right. Okay. I see.
So that's the doctors we are lack of. We need. Tremendous.
I see.
Honestly.
That's a good information. So there's another question about, do you guys have dental medicine, or are you planning to offer that in the future?
Not yet. We have dental medicine for 20 of our students, Czech Republic. The reason being is purely because the major goal of medical faculty is to supply our doctors to our regions, and dental doctors are in tremendous lack. So we must provide a quality teaching we intake only 20 dental doctors per year. Why? Because the teaching has to have a superb quality. Because in our country, when you release a dentist to practice, he can open a private clinic straight away. So, so in other words, that's why it's only 20, because those people have to have tremendous practice in order to open a private clinic. You understand? So we focus with general medicine, with medicine and with dentistry, we focus on quality, not quantity.
I see. I see. Thank you so much. Do you want to... Are there any other questions from the audience who would like to ask directly? Percentage of OSSD grade, I will probably answer that question. So the filter is going to be the entrance exam. So the OSSD grade is not necessarily the issue, I believe, right? But in some of the other universities have got certain like if you got like straight A's and A levels, are there any exempt to the entrance exam?
No,
Are there
no.
conditions?
We did it before. We stopped doing it. The reason we stopped doing it is because, honestly speaking, the quality, let's say someone in a student who during his secondary school year will not study so hard, but he start to study so hard for entrance exam and he makes a good entrance exam. Why not to give him a chance? If we would just give a straight A without exemption, we could get more straight A students, but experience is shown that straight A students, I'm sorry to say this, but when they start to study anatomy, which is a different system of study in medicine, they don't perform, they perform equally well, or they perform as the other students. So, you know, and since there are stages in the life of a human being, and in secondary school student, people like to chill out. I say it openly as it is, you know, and they like to, they make up their mind, they want to study medicine. So why not give them a chance? I mean, the entrance exam is fair. That will give us, and they are, and the reason we don't take the exams because they are different secondary schools with different level of markings from different countries. So that's the main reason why we uniform the exam according to our accreditation. And it's the same exam as the Czechs are making. It's the same teaching that the Czechs are doing. It's the same exam that European Czech accreditation Czech Republic undergoes. That's why we can guarantee you that when they finish this program, they can work in European Union. If we would make allowances, we couldn't get this guarantee. Understand?
I see. That's a great answer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's another question about post-graduation. So after graduation in Ostrava University, they said like if they want to move to the UK, do they need to sit for the PLAB exam? For that question,
UK is a special issue.
Hmm?
Sorry to interrupt your speech, being unpolite, sorry.
No
UK
worries.
is not a part of European Union anymore, as you know, because of Brexit. So far, they can enroll and they can sit some exam the same as UK sit. That's the UK stuff. We will see what time brings with the UK. Maybe some legislative changes, maybe not. We will see.
Yeah. But at the moment, I believe like many of our students and myself actually like didn't need to sit for PLAB exam to go do residency in the UK. So at the moment, there is no need for PLAB, but in the future, it might
We will
change.
see.
Yeah. Okay. So is there an interview? So there's no interview.
No interviews.
No
No
interview.
interviews.
Yeah. So the license process, so Dr. Skada has mentioned about the license process. You need to get tested for Czech language, and then afterwards you can get license in the Czech.
Yes, you examine in the Czech language, you pass the exam, you enroll in the Czech Chamber of Medical Community, your license process starts. 2 years, usually 2 years is the basic specialization. Internal medicine, surgery, it's a core specialization. So if you want to be a surgeon, You get 2 years of basic surgery specialization. And then if you want to be a cardiosurgeon, then you get 3 years above specialization in cardiosurgery. Okay? So
Which
it's
one is
usually
competitive?
6 years to specialize, 4 to 6 years.
I see, I see. Which one is the most competitive in Czech Republic as a
Plastic
specialty?
surgery,
Neural, eye,
plastic surgery,
plastic. Ah, well,
and
interesting.
neurosurgery. That's
And
competitive.
neurosurgery. I see. I
That's
see.
competitive.
That's competitive. Okay, that's
But the
similar to
system works in such a way that if you want to get to the hospital, you can go for stage in the summer to a particular regional hospital. And if you approve yourself in Czech Republic in that regional hospital and they know you, then you get a better chance to get in. You understand? So the tactic is to get to this. Of course, not many people know which specialization they want to do. But if they have two options, they would like to opt for one of them, then they are very free to opt for to have a look extra time for otorhinolaryngology, for instance, for surgery, for instance, for neurology, for instance. They can opt and they can, during their rotations in these 3 hospitals, this extra time, which they don't pay for, will give them, and plus the simulation center will give them a hint. You understand? That's why we offer 3 hospitals. That's why we offer the simulation center. Because without this practical teaching, students would read only books and they would not know which specialization to choose. But seeing patients plus simulation center, plus these 3 hospitals, will give them an eye-opener and will give them sufficient practical information to decide which specialization to choose. And in this respect, we are unique. So why we want you to come to Ostrava? Why we want you to book these 50 places as soon as possible? I mean, really, who comes first gets first. Is because the teaching you get is very good from clinical point of view. That's what you pay for. In Myanmar, when you come back, you don't need a theoretical Nobel Prize physicist or a scientist to do the medicine. You need a doctor who sits in the conditions which are harsh, and he needs to stand his ground. That's what you need. Sometimes we'll have hundreds of patients per day. He has to have practical experience. And when he graduates from us, it's a level of a GP. And that's what Africa needs. That's what Myanmar needs. People strongly able to do hands-on practical medicine. Research will come, but this is what you need.
Yes, yes, yes. That's true. So that's really nice words and nice wisdom from Dr. Skada about Ostrava University, and all the students here would be really willing to join Ostrava University, I believe. Just to tell you one thing, like one of our students actually flying to Prague this morning to join Ostrava University today. He's a little bit late, quite a lot late, I believe, to join the medical degree this year. However, that's why we urge all the students this year to join as soon as possible, so that the visa process you can get it done like straight after you getting acceptance letter and everything. So they do it as quickly as possible and apply as soon as possible, so that your visa process, your nostrification process, and all the processes can be done in time. But yeah, hopefully you will look after our student who is flying over there today. And thank you so much today for doing all this presentation and answering all the questions from us. It is really eye-opening for us, and it's really beneficial for all our students. Thank you so much, Dr. Skada. Do you have any last remarks that you would like to give to us, and then afterwards we can
one more practical information. If you decide to study with us and you come, if you decide to study and you come to our place, so for that travel you come, we cover 800 euro expenses when you already decide to study with us. The reason being why we want to help you to accustom. There is also a freshman week where younger students are helping the older ones. So we will provide you a freshman orientation week. You will be a part of a student organization called OMSA, where young students will help you very much. So we'll have English students from all over countries to help you out. You know, you are not alone. That's the only stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Skada. Thank you. Hopefully you have a very nice day ahead. It's an early morning presentation, so hopefully you're not very sleepy afterwards. Thank you so much for your time.
No. It's okay. Thank you so much. And we will keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါအကုန်လုံးကျန်တဲ့သူတွေကတော့လေကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီဟိုပါပေါ့နော် Polo Education ကိုတခြားမေးချင်တာတွေရှိလို့ရှိရင်တော့လည်းဒီမှာမေးမြန်းနိုင်ပါတယ်ဒီဒေါက်တာစကာတာပြောသွားတဲ့ဟာတွေကိုလည်းနားမလည်လို့ရှိရင်လည်းကျွန်တော်တို့တစ်ချက်ပြန်ပြီးတော့မေးနိုင်ပါတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဟုတ်ကဲ့တခြားမေးချင်တာရှိလို့ရှိရင်လည်းအခု mic ဖွင့်ပြီးတော့မေးလို့ရပါတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်လည်း text box မှာပဲ text လို့လည်းရပါတယ်ဗာလေးမေးချင်တာရှိပါသေးတယ်ဗျာ
ဆရာတခုလောက်မေးချင်လို့ပါ
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါပြောပါဗျာ